Greetings and welcome to Grow Moringa Farms in Plant City, Florida. I'm Kendrick Henry, your local Moringa USA farmer. Please, let's go take a walk and see how these moringa trees are doing because we're about to prepare them for the wintertime. We've already trimmed some of these trees back several times over the past year. Now, the first year that I was here, all we did was drop mulch. The first thing was just get a bunch of oak mulch, chips. They built it up to about 2 foot above the natural ground level. I even dug a little bit more of a ditch out on the edge of the property and lifted the soil up here so that way we were on a whole nother plane, so that way these trees can stay high and dry. This was the first tree that I planted on the property about a year ago, and she's doing wonderful. Look at this. Fresh greens coming in. Wow. Super peanutty. This is the best part about owning your own moringa trees, is eating fresh right off the tree. It's the best way to consume moringa. That just tastes so good. Now this tree, before I got it and transplanted it here, was over 30 foot tall. I have a video where I'm in South Tampa harvesting this tree, bringing it back, transporting it, and bringing it here. So she's been in this position for about a whole year, and she's doing wonderful. We've already cut her back, so everything that you see right here, like this branch and this branch here and all these big branches, they're only a year from sprouting out of the base. Now, this base is actually from a 3-year-old cutting that someone planted a little bit too close to their house. So they asked us to come by and take it out, and we brought it here. This moringa farm is also a sanctuary where we save moringa trees from peril and from places where people don't want them. We want them all. We want all the moringas. We want all the greens. We want all the nutrients. We want all the benefits because we want to help as many people as possible. It's the most nutritious plant on land that you can consume. And the best way, as I mentioned, is to just have a tree in your own backyard that you can eat fresh every day. This is a beautiful moringa farm that we're establishing here in Plant City, Florida. It's in between Tampa and Lakeland. So we're just right off of I-4 in between Tampa and Lakeland. And we have a hedge starting here. Look at this beautiful, nice hedge. Now, you can see the structure of these trees are unlike many other trees that you've seen before, because some of the moringa trees that you've probably seen maybe just be tall and lanky, maybe one stick. But I train my trees short, bushy, wide with a rotunda, so that way I can get a ton of branches to get a lot of greens, a lot of flowers, and a lot of drumsticks. So that way we can produce thousands of seeds off of one tree. You can see we already cut these trees back. This is the reason why here it is January 15th, 14th, 15th, and we have fresh greens coming off of this. Look. And what we're doing right now is we're actually preparing for wintertime, and we're going to start stripping the rest of these greens off. We're going to start taking them off one by one here in a few minutes. We're just going to start coming through because we might be experiencing a frost here in the next day to 2 days. So we're gonna go ahead and get these greens off of here so that way we can get them on the racks to dry. Look at this. We just cut this back maybe about a week, maybe about a month ago. And when they come out, they pop out, they're a little bit bigger because these were the first leaves that popped out when the tree didn't have any greens. And the reason why they do that is because they need to get their solar panels established. Then you can see the next set of leaves that come out are a little bit smaller, just like the regular size. But we're going to finish this line out here. Also, just want to show you a couple of the other trees that we've already cut back. You can see here, very nice. Some of the big leaves. Wonderful. And we're going to go ahead and continue to get these trees cut back. You can see here we've got a nice row. Caleb's actually starting to do some of this winter prepping. This is essentially what we're doing, is we're prepping for winter. And we'll just get these trees back to a nice manageable height so that way they don't get damaged in the wintertime. He's gonna cut it at an angle so that way any of the frost or anything will run right off. Very nice. So it was already really tall. This was a cutting that we planted. It was probably like a 6-7 foot tall cutting. Then we brought it back. It re-sprouted out over the last 2 months. And he's trying not to disturb it as much as possible down here so that way the root system stays intact. And we're going to get it back down low so that way it's a lot less susceptible to frost damage. We might be having a frost here over the next few days. Okay, yeah. So we're just getting this tree cut back so that way he's going to score around the whole edge. And that way it just snaps off a little bit easier. Maybe even be able to plant the cutting that we're taking from this cutting. But it's wintertime right now. A lot of the cuttings don't even really take. It's all right. We'll go ahead and let him finish that there. I'm gonna show you around a few more other trees. You can see we already cut this one back a few weeks ago. And she's starting to come back with this branch here. We'll go ahead and get this branch harvested. And also maybe snap it back a little bit lower here. I even have like a little cutter in my pocket I can even show you. So we get something like this and bring it back. That way we can save these greens and there will be a lot less frost damage and things for frost to penetrate over the next, say, 4 to 6 weeks, because we're about to really go into winter season. Here it is, January 15th, and it's probably going to start frosting by this week, next week, and then pretty much all of February it goes down to 30, then 80, then 30, then 80. Every day is different. We'll kind of walk down here. You can see we have a double staggered line here of trees, meaning I've got 2 rows and they're staggered. Each one of these trees is about 10 foot apart in the line. And the next tree over is about 10 foot apart from the tree, but just in a staggered position. Look at these beautiful little stubs. We're gonna go ahead and get a lot of these greens off of here. So what we'll do is we'll just come by and we'll just start trimming everything back. So that way none of these get lost in the frost, but also so that way these trees really start to build out robust, low to the ground. I'm really trying to build a forest of low, bushy trees. That way we get lots of branches, lots of drumsticks, lots of seeds. Even something like this is a little bit too tall right now for what we're trying to do, because the frost damage, I don't have irrigation out here. I don't have a greenhouse or any kind of covering. So we're just getting all the trees prepped for winter. This is how you prep for winter when you don't really have systems in place other than a nice heat sink, like 2 feet of mulch on the ground. And that's pretty much what we have here, is 2 foot of mulch on the ground here that's raised up the soil level, that's really helping to insulate these root systems. But look at these beautiful greens. One of the reasons why Moringa greens are shiny like this is because they're actually hydrophobic, meaning they propel dirt and water and things like that, and they create this nice, beautiful shine. Plus this nice red color, carbon, melanin, beta carotene, whatever you want to call it. It's prevalent in the branches, and also just is showing its nutrient content. So we'll go ahead and just start getting all of these pretty much cut back, so that way we can get them on the racks to dry, and also so that way we can prevent this tree from having more damage than necessary during the next couple months as it begins to frost. Okay, and so we'll get all these greens back, and not to worry, she's gonna come back even more prevalently than she is now. Once the rains start, there's gonna have to be a whole nother restructuring that goes on. We'll probably get even something like this stick that's starting to come in. Look at this. Look at this. So we'll get this cut back here. I'll probably go ahead and get a saw here, just that way we can get this cut back and I'm not really damaging the root system that's established in there. So we'll just probably get a saw in there. I just wanted you to see that I'm probably going to be cutting it back to about right here. You know, that's really only 6 inches, a foot off the ground. Appreciate you for just sticking with us, and I hope you have a great day. Take care.